I went to Gili Air because it's somewhere in the middle. It has some infrastructure, but not too many tourists and not too crazy parties. I thought I can get the best of two worlds, but you could not sit in two chairs at the same time.
In this video I will talk to you about Gili Air. Throughout the video I will talk about Gili T. I've never been there, but I've heard lots of stories, so I have something to share. And in a separate video I will talk about Gili Meno. I will leave the link in the video description below.
Gili Air misses out on some sort of a strong character. It's like someone who wants to be in two places simultaneously but ends up getting to none. Gili T has a strong character. It's all about partying, loud music, dancing, having fun.
I've never been to Gili T, but I've heard lots of stories about crazy parties there. It's the most popular Gili island. Around 60% of boat passengers got off at Gili T, and based on their conversations and the vibe that they were giving off, I can tell you they are such a party animal.
Gili Meno also has a strong character. It's about tranquility, peacefulness, stillness, honeymoon, turtles, snorkeling. But Gili Air to me felt in the middle, so you don't get to experience either side to the fullest, only to a degree. If you come to Gili Air for stillness and peacefulness, it's not as tranquil as I thought. If you come to Gili Air for a party, it's not a good place for it either. There was one party on the beach. I checked it out briefly. It was not too bad. There was some live music at a cafe called Cheeky Monkey, but it's rather romantic and entertaining than party-like. If you come to Gili Air for snorkeling, it's alright. But why to settle down on the second best if you have an island 10 minutes away by boat, Gili Meno, that has so much more to offer. I snorkeled in Gili Air. I saw some nice colorful fish. I was impressed, but then I went to Gili Meno and Gili Air paled in comparison. In Gili Meno I had the best snorkel of my life. It's less hygienic and civilized than in Bali. In Bali almost all toilets were decent, and I could not say the same about Gili Air. Same goes for Gili Meno. Food is just average, nothing too spectacular, but my stomach didn't get upset, so it's already a plus. Oh, and if you're traveling from Bali to Gili Air and you're prone to motion sickness, don't forget to take some meds, because I got sick on the boat. It was the worst day of my life. I felt so cooped up, so dizzy and absolutely helpless. So if you're prone to motion sickness, don't repeat my mistake. Take some meds with you on the boat. Another tip: be prepared that everything here is fairly old. I stayed in a bungalow for 450,000 rupees a night. I cannot say that it was the best accommodation in my life, but I enjoyed the proximity to the beach and it had everything I need. Also, staff here is quite laid back and nonchalant. But they're so jubilant and positive and give you this great, amazing big smile. So I was willing to forgive them for their clumsiness and forgetfulness. There was this thing with the roll of toilet paper that they would always just take it from my bungalow, and I was like, why? But hey, come on, it's Gili Air, what else can you expect? On the same note, they just had one type of tea. Tea is just an example, but this applies to pretty much everything, so you get an idea what to expect. I asked, okay, I'd like to have some tea, please. What kind of tea do you have? And the reply was normal. What I haven't thought about before arrival is the tide. It's so funny, I arrived at 2 p.m. and I wanted to go for a swim, but I couldn't because the water was so shallow. And I was like, what is it? Like, what's wrong? But of course, it's the tide, it's the ocean. At some point the tide gets low and at some point it gets high again. I stayed here in this part of the island and it's much less crowded and quieter than in the south or even in the southeast. Beaches are not what one might expect from a place like this. Don't get me wrong, it's not too bad. I'm not complaining at all. Just look at this, right? But when I close my eyes and picture a perfect beach, like my dream beach, I think about this one. And this one is in Gili Meno. The best beach I saw in Gili Air was around the chill out bar. but it still doesn't beat the Gili Meno beaches. The good thing though is that even if you pick accommodation with the beach line that you don't like, within 1 kilometer distance you will probably find something that is more to your liking, because everything in this island is just so close. The first night I stayed here, I heard loud music, and I was wondering, who would listen to music that loud? Like, is it my neighbors, or is there a nearby bar, because there is no bars really? But then I was told that the music comes from Gili T. So I have no idea how locals sleep there if I can hear the music being on another island. LSD and mushrooms is what surprised me here. There are banners at restaurants that they're selling it, and I was kind of shocked because there is death penalty in Indonesia for taking drugs. But there is no police in this island, so I guess they feel that they can cross the lines here. Also, I've heard that the head of mafia lives in Gili Air, so kind of makes sense. Also, here I experienced the most memorizing and amazing bonfires.
Takkan ku lupakan dirimu, begitu beratnya. Oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. I always remember you like a child girl. You know this is a number one world can do, and it's breaking my heart to do, 'cause I never want to see you sad. I don't belong here.
I met someone with good English, which is rare here. I mean, people do speak English to a degree, like they will understand what you want to order, but if you want to have a decent conversation, it might be hard. That's why I was like, yes, please, let's chat. I want to hear everything about this island from a local. He told me that the reason why most of the workers in hospitality industry are from Lombok is because Gili guys are lazy and they just take drugs. They are relatively rich, they have some property, their family owns the land or a restaurant, so they know that they will inherit all of that. So they don't feel like putting an extra effort and work hard. They just, chill, take drugs and have a good life. Gili Air showed me how people can be happy with so little. They show a consistent affirmation of life and are just content with what they have, even if they earn 100 euros a month. I met someone who sells jewelry here. She comes from Lombok every day at around 10 a.m. and goes back home after 8 p.m. She has to work because her husband doesn't speak English, so he stays at home with 3 kids and she comes here to work. I bought these 2 things from her, this one and another one on my ankle, because obviously, yes, I liked it, but I also wanted to help her out. It must be extremely hard to walk with a heavy bag full of jewelry on a beach when it's plus 35 degrees Celsius. And yet she was so happy, content, blissful, and had such a good energy.
As a European looking person, I often felt guilty there and felt almost obliged to buy stuff from them because I wanted to help. I talked to other tourists and we all share the same idea, the same feeling around it, the same feeling of guilt for being able to afford a better, or more comfortable life. But then I had to remind myself, hey, you worked hard to be where you are right now. It's not like I was born into generational wealth. And this is a very unpopular opinion and perhaps I'm going to get a backlash for it, but I talked to a lot of people there, and of course some people I got a vibe, I got a sense from them that they want to work hard and there is just no opportunity for it. But the majority of people I talk to, they don't want to work. They're happy living their lazy, very slow-paced life. Lots of people told me hey, I don't want to move to Bali, I don't want to move to Lombok, I'm just happy in my chill island where I don't have to do much. And the job that they do, they suck at their job because they simply don't have any motivation. So on the one hand, I feel sorry for the people who got born in this side of the world where there are no opportunities for them. And on the other hand, I feel like I shouldn't feel guilty for what I have, because it's not like my life is super easy and like rainbows and unicorns. It's just so different. It's a different type of struggles that I have. So for sure, I'm feeling very humbled and very grateful for having what I have. At the same time, I feel like I cannot rescue everyone. I cannot go there and buy stuff that I don't need just to help them out, because this will leave me with nothing. Yeah, I'm really curious, let me know. Have you ever been to a less fortunate country and you felt so privileged there? And yeah, what has your experience been?
Another guy I met earns around 1,600,000 rupees, which is around 100 euros a month. He mows grass and climbs coconut trees to get coconuts. He sleeps on the beach and it's just so positive. I ask him how he feels about it and he's like, oh, I love it. It's the best sleep I have. I don't need the room. I like when it's so fresh and there is wind and it's like nature. I'm just so happy with it. And that was the moment when I felt so dumb, because just 30 minutes ago I was a bit fussy about my pub chair being a little bit damp. So I was like, yeah, I cannot sit here, it's so wet. And he swapped it for me to another chair. But he sleeps on the beach and came all the way from Lombok with one t-shirt and shorts and is not complaining. He looks happier than most of the Europeans who earn 10,000 euros a month and have a roof over their head. These stories are just so humbling. They put everything in perspective. It makes me realize how small things actually are I complain and whine about, and how much I actually have. If you have any questions I haven't addressed in this video, hit me up, let's chat. If I have an opinion or if I've heard anything, I will surely let you know. You can text me on Instagram or leave a comment down below.